Keith Thurman versus Tszyu. Who's gonna win this fight? Well, let's look at their latest performances, in which Keith Thurman fought Manny Pacquiao, in which this was a very close fight, in which Manny Pacquiao started off very fast and dropped Keith Thurman in round 1.
Bit of a smile from Manny Pacquiao. Oh, down goes Thurman!
After this, both went back and forth, both landed many combinations, but ultimately Manny Pacquiao all-landed Keith Thurman and won by decision.
In favor of the winner, boxing's pride of the Philippines.
After this, Keith Thurman went on to fight Mario Barrios, in which Keith Thurman was just way more accurate than Mario Barrios, in which he even robbed Mario Barrios in round 4.
Whacking with the right hand. That right hand landed.
And after this, Keith Thurman took control of the whole entire fight and won by decision.
In favor of the winner, Keith, one time.
Now let's talk about Tim's latest performances, in which he fought Carlos Ocampo, in which he dropped him in round 1.
And look for that shot like that right there.
And then Carlos got back up just to get knocked out in the same round.
Right hands pouring through the Campos.
After this, Tim went on to fight Brian Mendoza, in which Brian Mendoza's defense was completely trashed throughout the whole fight, which gave Tim the opportunity to all-land him and win by decision.
Now, before talking about the fighters and before talking about how this fight is going to go, let me just say that I don't like that this fight is the main event. I think that the fight between Pitbull Cruz and Rolly Romero, that is the co-main event, should be the main event, only because that fight is much more anticipated and means a lot more than this fight. But anyways, let's talk about the fighters. First, starting off with Keith Thurman. As you just heard his latest performances, it's also important to note that when he fought Manny Pacquiao, it was in 2019, and then he didn't fight Barrios until 3 years later. And the fact that he's coming from welterweight to go up to super welterweight makes some fans believe that he was ducking fighters like Crawford and he was ducking fighters like Boots Ennis. But anyways, let's talk about Tim and what makes him so dangerous, and that is simply because he's been the most active fighter in the super welterweight division. There's nobody else, and he is undefeated, and he's been ducked by everybody, including Charlo, because the only thing that fighters could do is talk themselves out of a fight because they know what he brings, and that's exactly what Charlo did. So in the end, who wins this fight? Well, I think it should be clear that Tim is going to walk right through Keith Thurman, as it would literally be a miracle if Keith Thurman is somehow able to win this fight.